This is Richard, and I welcome you to the Innovation Best Practices episodes, where every episode is designed to help you sell more and make more using proven, practical best practices that I believe can help virtually any business with any innovation need. I want to give a special welcome to our listeners around the world, listeners in over 80 countries. Welcome back. We have a number of ways that you can watch these episodes. You can watch them as video cast, which is the same audio as the podcast, but with visuals. Makes a big difference on some of the episodes, not as big a difference on other episodes. All you need to do is go to YouTube and in the search bar put Richard Innovation Best Practices. Will come up in the search results, number 456, whatever down the list. Click on it and all the available video casts are there. The podcast can be listened to by going to i2ge, that's the letter I, number 2, ge.com/podcast, or at iTunes. And if you go to iTunes, I'd really appreciate it if you could give us a 5-star rating and review. It helps people more easily find us. There are also free apps for the iPhone and iPad at the App Store and for Android devices at Google Play. I love hearing from listeners, so if you want to contact me, just email me at richard@i2ge.com. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. When I first ran onto this, I went, huh? That may have been your first reaction. It's 5 counterintuitive innovation truths. These are thoughts from a company called the Garage Group. So I found them interesting, so I wanted to share them with you. So let's get into them here. The Garage Group helps startups with innovation. These 5 counterintuitive truths about innovation are statements that when you first hear them, you may think they're not true, but in most cases they are true. There's some quality and even new insights in this episode that have not previously appeared in innovation best practices. So, counterintuitive truth number 1. To deeply understand, you don't need deep pockets. It's a myth that you need to spend tens of thousands of dollars on research to gain actionable insights about your customers. You need time, far, far more than money. You need time to observe. There's all kinds of observation. One of the forms of observation that I've used in a variety of situations is to go into a grocery store on a busy day and stand near the category of products that I'm interested in, and when customers are looking at the category or selecting a product, having informal conversations about why they chose one product over another and what they look for and all that sort of thing. It's when it's top of mind, you can usually get some pretty good information. We've gone into customers' homes and found some absolutely amazing stuff. We did some coffee research with people who are really, really into coffee. By that, I mean half their freezer was taken up with coffee products. And the amount of equipment and everything they had was just mind-blowing. Anyway, so you can just do an awful lot by observing. Qualitative learning early on can be very beneficial, while expensive quantitative research can give you insights and everything and help you in critical decision stages when ideas are needed. So it's not like you don't need research, but you don't necessarily need it up front to learn a lot. So you don't need those deep pockets, especially up front. Counterintuitive truth number 2. It's not really everyone's job. Not everyone in a business is responsible for successful innovation programs. They're not. Successful innovation requires people with specific, proven skills and experiences. A core innovation group, either part of the core business or separate from it, becomes responsible for driving innovation success from beginning to end. As we've talked in previous episodes, there's a wide range of ways that you can organize around this. But regardless of the way that you go about it, there is a small core group that ultimately is responsible in particular businesses, maybe for just specific projects. At some point, everyone needs to play a role in innovation development and execution, but in particular parts like supply chain, accounting, and sales, and those sorts of folks. Third counterintuitive truth: the most experienced people don't always have the best ideas. We often think that innovation is best driven by new and fresh thinking. It's interesting, while I was at the Gallo Winery, we would have packaging meetings with Ernest Gallo on a regular basis, and Ernest would always insist on bringing the youngest people into the session because he wanted a mix of people that were kind of new to the business and those old hands like myself and others who were very experienced. To be clear, this can be an important part of the innovation process, new and fresh thinking. I'm not trying to deny that in any way. But the most experienced people I've spent more time observing, more time with customers, more time seeing what succeeds and fails, more time developing their innovation skills. So the most experienced people bring a lot to the party. And whether it be observing customers, seeing what succeeds and fails, and innovation skills. So they definitely need to be part of the equation, but not necessarily the only part. They often can be the people that are most frustrated with situations and motivated to fix it. So make sure you include them. The fourth truth: a portfolio of small and big bets is better than one big bet. The truth about small bet innovations: they seldom produce incremental volume in sales, but they're very important for keeping the core of the business vital. And they can be very important to maintaining the status quo of competitiveness. So a portfolio of small bets in many ways is better than one big bet of going all in. Remembering that you have a 75% chance of failure, you put all your eggs in one basket, as opposed to having a number of other ideas, you can end up being an innovation loser. So that's why we talk about a portfolio approach to innovation, where you have a portfolio of some evolutionary, like product improvements, line extensions, new flavors, all that sort of stuff, along with possibly some bigger stretches of expanding into adjacent categories, and then the big home runs like the episode on Google Moonshots. Boy, those were definitely big ideas. But as in the Google Moonshots episode, that wasn't the only innovation they had going on. It was part of their portfolio. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. Ideally, we like to see companies having a portfolio ranging from small evolutionary up to the home runs. Big bets, especially where a company becomes better than any other company, can create long-term positive transformation and profitability, so I'm not trying to take away from that. It's just you need it to be a part of the portfolio. The fifth counterintuitive truth: changing course is correlated with success. The reverse of this, persevere and stay the course, is a cause of many, many failures. I don't know how many times I've seen train wrecks in innovation because people damn the torpedoes were charging ahead despite strong evidence that says, hey, you ought to make some changes to this, or hit the brakes before going off a cliff. In an innovative ideas journey from start to finish, there are always major learnings where the best and smartest thing to do is to change course, which sometimes includes slamming on the brakes, as I said. Roadblocks and barriers can be perceived as reasons to shut a project down. And that's not necessarily the right thing to do sometimes. You just need to pause and figure out how am I going to get through this. Successful innovators persevere and change course as many times as they need to in order to achieve their vision of success. So here's some concluding thoughts on my part about the most counterintuitive thoughts. It doesn't take a lot of money to develop a core idea, from high chances for success for long-term success. Learning by observing and asking questions and playing with possibilities is pretty low-cost stuff. You hear of as many successful entrepreneurs who have started in a garage. I mean, innovation doesn't always need to be these big budget sort of approaches. At some point it does, but it usually, if you can do as much of the low-cost qualitative stuff prior to needing to make some of those big decisions about costs and financing and commitments and all that sort of stuff. Every innovation project needs to work with the core assumption that you don't know what you don't know and expect the unexpected. Again, every innovation project needs to work with the core assumption that you don't know what you don't know and to expect the unexpected. With these understandings, you know that you will have to change course, probably many times. Okay, if you're interested in more innovation best practices, we've got them. You just need to go to my website at i2ge, that's the letter I, number 2, ge.com. On the left-hand side on the menu bar, click on DIY Innovation Training. A whole bunch of training programs will pop up. If by chance you don't see one that really fits your needs, just contact me, email me, and I'll be glad to tailor one for you. Here's what I'm trying to do with this. I'm trying to make you innovation self-sufficient through these training programs, instead of having to pay expensive consultants like me to do it for you. So these DIY innovation training programs can be a major cost savings for many companies. In addition, one of my 6 books that I've published is titled Proven Practical Innovation That Delivers Results. It's available only at Amazon in paperback and as a Kindle book. And it's priced below my break-even cost, so it's a tremendous value. If you have suggestions, comments, or requests, I love hearing from listeners. Just email me at richard@i2ge.com. I look forward to hearing from you. And in the next episode, we're going to take a look at something that really surprised me, and that is amazing Department of Defense innovation successes for decades. You'll learn how they do it from a great Harvard Business Review article. This kind of blew me away. Their string of major breakthrough successes is more impressive than any single company I can think of. So make sure that you tune in. There's some good stuff going on here. And as all of you know, I deeply appreciate you taking time out of a busy day to spend it with me, and look forward to reconnecting with you soon. Until then, please have a great day.